prati bhruyad. Why you start the recording very late, Gautam? I told you 100 times. When the Mangalacharan starts, that is the time it should start immediately. I have to repeat again. Sakatham sevaya tasya kalena jarasam gatah. Prushto vartam prati bhruyad bhartu padava anusmarat. So Vidura is asking about the whereabouts about Krishna. So now, right from the childhood, Uddhava has been serving. Even in the old age, his attitude for service is not gone. That is how a person always remains young by his service. Like Tukaram Maharaj says, Lahanpani Dega Deva. It's true. Everybody remains young because that is our real nature. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishna Nityada, that is our real nature. So when he was asked about Krishna, Bhartu means about the Lord, Padav Anusmaran, immediately he started remembering the lotus feet about Lord, the lotus feet of Lord. And he remembered, he was asked to speak. Immediately what he did, he remembered Lord first. Before replying, he remembered Lord. Then only he will start replying. Yeah? Okay. Aruna, read.
Text 3, Canto 3, Chapter 2. Sakatam sevaya tasya kalena jarasam gatah prishto vartam pratibhruyad bharturpadavanusmaran. Translation. Uddhava thus served the Lord continually from childhood, and in his old age that attitude of service never slackened. As soon as he was asked about the message of the Lord, he at once remembered all about him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Transcendental service to the Lord is not mundane. The service attitude of the devotee gradually increases and never becomes slackened. Generally, in old age, a person is allowed retirement from mundane service. But in the transcendental service of the Lord, there is no retirement at all. On the contrary, the service attitude increases more and more with the progress of age. In the transcendental service, there is no satiation, and therefore there is no retirement. Materially, when a person becomes tired by rendering service in his physical body, he is allowed retirement. But in the transcendental service, there is no feeling of fatigue because it is spiritual service and is not on the bodily plane.
Srila Prabhupada did
Service
not
to
retire. In fact, in the old age, he worked more.
Mm.
But we see in the middle life, people work in the old age. But when it comes to chanting the holy name, they feel tired. They should chant more. Yeah.
Service on the bodily plane dwindles as the body grows older, but the spirit is never old, and therefore, on the spiritual plane, the service is never tiresome. Uddhava undoubtedly became old, but that does not mean that his spirit became old. His service attitude matured on the transcendental plane, and therefore, as soon as he was questioned by Vidura about Lord Krishna, he at once remembered his Lord by reference to the context and forgot himself on the physical plane. That is a sign of pure devotional service to the Lord. As will be explained later, Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya, etc., in the Lord Kapila's instructions to his mother Devahuti. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So in devotional service, there is no old age. All were climbing Ahobilam, isn't it? Even though crossed 40, 50. But they're more smarter than the young children.
Mataji, in morning class also this subject comes, na? Tumburu. Attend
Kumara.
youthfulness. Acha, Kumar Dhara, Tirtha. Yeah.
Sa muhurtam abhuta tushnim Krishnam giri suddhaya brisham तीव्रेण भक्ति योगेन निमग्नः साधु निवृत्तः सः उद्धवा. So Saha means Uddhava. Muhurtam for a moment, Abhuta became Tushnim, dead silent. Krishna anger, he was just remembering the lotus feet of Lord. Shuddhaya, by the nectar. Prasham, well matured. Tivrena, by very strong. Bhakti Yogena, devotional service. Nimagnaha, absorbed in. Sadhu, so good, fully in love. Nivritam is fully in love. So for a moment, he was just silent. And he did not move. He did not move, his body did not move. He was absorbed in remembering the nectar of the lotus feet of Lord. And in this way, he was completely in devotional ecstasy, absorbed, nimagnaha. And nivrittaha, completely in pure love. And he appeared to be going increasingly deeper in that ecstasy. He was completely absorbed and he's just thinking about Lord Bhakti Yogena. And it seemed that very strongly he is going deep into the love. So much of absorption. This absorption is also mercy of Krishna. And this absorption is actually samadhi. Samyak adite asmin atmatattva ithatmaya. This is the whole purpose of even Ashtanga Yoga. Purpose should be complete absorption in the lotus feet of Krishna. At the time, he remains silent. It seems that his body doesn't move. He is completely absorbed in the lotus feet of Krishna. Okay, read Raksha.
Hare Krishna. Shloka 4. Samuhurtam bhutatushnim Krishnangri sudaya bhrusham Tivrena bhakti yogena nimagnam sadhu nivrutaha. For a moment he remained dead silent, and his body did not move. He became absorbed in the nectar of remembering the Lord's lotus feet in devotional ecstasy, and he appeared to be going increasingly deeper in that ecstasy. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. On the inquiry by Vidur about Krishna, Uddhava appeared to be awakened from slumber. He appeared to regret that he had forgotten the lotus feet of the Lord. Thus he again remembered the lotus feet of the Lord and remembered all his transcendental loving services unto him. And by so doing, he felt the same ecstasy that he used to feel in the presence of the Lord. Because the Lord is absolute, there is no difference between his remembrance and his personal presence. Thus, Uddhava remained completely silent for a moment. But then he appeared to be going deeper and deeper into ecstasy. Feelings of ecstasy are displayed by highly advanced devotee of the Lord. There are 8 kinds of transcendental changes in the body: fear, shivering of the body, perspiration, restlessness, trembling, choking of the throat, etc. And all were manifested by Uddhava in the presence of Vidura. Hare Krishna.
पुलको भिन्न सर्वांगो मुञ्चन्मिलादृश शुचः पूर्णार्थो लक्षितस्तेन स्नेहप्रशर सम्पृतः पुलक उद्भिन्न bodily changes of transcendental ecstasy, sarvanga, every part of the body. So it was observed by Vidura that Uddhava had all the transcendental symptoms. Munchan milata, smearing. And in this way, milata, opening drisha by the eyes, shuchaha, tears of grief. So he was wiping the tears. Purna arthaha, complete achievement. Lakshitaha, thus observed, tena by Vidura. Sneha prashara, extensive love. Samplutaha, thoroughly assimilated. Vidura could see that Uddhava had all transcendental bodily symptoms due to total ecstasy when he was trying to wipe away tears of separation from his eyes. Thus, Vidura could see that Uddhava had completely assimilated extensive love for Krishna. So, this is a bhagya actually. What Vidura saw is the bhagya which Uddhava has got. He has completely assimilated. This assimilation means what? Accumulation. And this accumulation is right from his childhood, and that type of eagerness to serve is there even in the old age. That means devotional service keeps a person alive. Devotional service is not there. Even though he may be moving, he may be a small child or a young man, he is as good as a dead body. Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastra Japatapa Pranasya Dehasya Mandalam Lokaranjanam. We may be looking young, but what is the use if Bhakti is not there? But on the contrary, if Bhakti is there, then this is a bhagya which a person has got. So Vidura could see that how Uddhava is so fortunate. Right from his childhood, he has been doing the service. And that is that eagerness to serve is there still. Still that eagerness to serve is there. In fact, he has accumulated fortune of serving. Okay. Aruna, read. Today Vrindavan Nilamata is not well, so both of you only continue. Aruna, read.
Yeah. Text 5. पुलकोद्भिन्न सर्वाङ्गो मुञ्चन्मीलदृशा शुचः पूर्णार्थो लक्षितस्तेन स्नेहप्रसरसम्प्लुतः. Translation: It was so observed by Vidura that Uddhava had all the transcendental bodily changes due to total ecstasy, and he was trying to wipe away tears of separation from his eyes. Thus, Vidura could understand that Uddhava had completely assimilated the extensive love for the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The symptoms of the highest order of devotional life was observed by Vidura, an experienced devotee of the Lord, and he confirmed Uddhava's perfectional stage of love of Godhead. Ecstatic bodily changes are manifested from the spiritual plane and are not artificial expressions developed by practice. Ecstatic bodily changes are manifested from the spiritual plane and are not artificial expressions developed by practice. There are three different stages of development in devotional service. The first stage is that of following the regulative principles prescribed in the codes of devotional service. The second stage is that of assimilation and realization of the steady condition of devotional service. And the last stage is that of the ecstasy symptomized by transcendental bodily expression. The 9 different modes of devotional service, such as hearing, chanting, and remembering, are the beginning of the process. By regular hearing of the glories and pastimes of the Lord, the impurities in the student's heart begin to be washed off. The more one is cleansed of impurities, the more one becomes fixed in devotional service. Gradually, the activities take the forms of steadiness, firm faith, taste, realization, and assimilation, one after another. 3 different stages of gradual development increase love of God to the highest stage, and in the highest stage, there are still more symptoms such as affection, anger, and attachment, gradually rising in exceptional cases to the Mahabhava stage, which is generally not possible for the living entities. All these were manifested by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the personification of love of God. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami, the chief disciple of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these transcendental symptoms displayed by pure devotees like Uddhava are systematically described. We have written a summary study of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu entitled The Nectar of Devotion, and one may consult this book for more detailed information on the science of devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Next. So this ecstasy has been seen in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows actually that this Mahabhava stage, very difficult to attain. Uddhava has got it. Shanakair Bhagavaloka Lokan Punaragataha Vimrujya Netre Viduram Pritiyadbhava Utsmayan Shanakahi gradually Bhagavatah, the Lord, Lokat, from the abode, Lokam, the planet of the human being, Puna Agataha, coming again. So he's in complete ecstasy, he's in the Loka of the Lord. His consciousness is there in the abode of the Lord. Now slowly he comes back to this planet. His consciousness comes back to this planet He's wiping his eyes. Vimurchaha netre viduram pritya ahauddhava utsmayan. Then he started speaking to Vidura in very affectionate mood by remembering all the past. So the question has been raised. He wanted to know. Vidura wants to know, but immediately he could not answer because he is completely absorbed in the love of Krishna. Slowly he is answering, and he comes back to his consciousness again, because his consciousness there in the Vaikuntha Loka, and that is how it comes back. Read.
Yes, Mataji. सनके भगवान् लोकान् लोकं पुनरागतः विम विमृज्य नेत्रे विदुरं प्रीत्याहो उद्धव उत्स्मयन्. Translation: The great devotee Uddhava soon came back from the abode of the Lord to the human plane, and wiping his eyes, he awakened his reminiscence of the past and spoke to Vidur in a pleasing mood. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Ho. When Uddhava was fully absorbed in the transcendent ecstasy of love of God, he actually forgot all about the external world. The pure devotee lives constantly in the abode of the Supreme Lord, even in the present body, which apparently belongs to this world. The pure devotee is not exactly on the bodily plane, since he is absorbed in the transcendental thought of the Supreme. When Uddhava wanted to speak to Vidur, he came down from the abode of the Lord, Dwarka, to the material plane of human beings, even though a pure devotee is present on this mortal planet. He is here in the relation to the Lord for engagement in transcendental loving service and not for any material cause. A living entity can live either on the material plane or in the transcendental abode of the Lord, in accordance with his existential condition. The conditional changes of the living entity are explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the instructions given to Srila Rupa Goswami by Lord Sri Chaitanya. The living entities all over the universe are enjoying the effect of the respective fruitive result of their own work, life after life. Out of all them, some may be influenced by the association of pure devotees and thus get the chance to execute devotional service by attainment of taste. This taste is the seed of devotional service, and one who is fortunate enough to have received such a seed is advised to sow in the core of his heart. As one cultivates a seed by pouring water to fructify it, the seeds of devotional service sown in the heart of the devotees may be cultured by pouring water in the form of hearing and chanting of the holy name and pastime of the Lord. The creeper of devotional service, so nourished, gradually grown, and devotee acting as a gardener. Thus, on the pouring the water of constant hearing and chanting, the creeper of devotional service gradually grows so high that it passes through the entire material universe and enters into the spiritual sky, growing still higher and higher until it reaches the planet Golok Vrindavan. The devotee gardener is in touch with the abode of the Lord, even from the material plane, by dint of performing devotional service to the Lord, simply by hearing and chanting. As a creeper takes shelter of another stronger tree, similarly, the creeper of devotional service, nourished by the devotee, takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord and thus becomes fixed. When the creeper is fixed, then the fruit of the creeper comes into existence, and the gardener who nourishes it is able to enjoy this fruit of love, and his life becomes successful. That Uddhava attained this stage is evident from his dealings. He could simultaneously reach the supreme planet and still appear in this world. Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Okay, next one. Uddhavacha. Now let us see what Uddhava says. Krishna Dyumani Loche. Krishna Dyumani Loche. Girneshwacha Garenaha. Kim no Nah Kushalam Bhuyam. Gatashrishu Gruheshwaham. Uddhavacha. Uddhava says, Krishna Dyumani, Krishna, the son of the world is Krishna. Nimloche, I said, Grineshu Ajagarena. In this way, in the past, what? So our house has been swallowed by this great snake, snake of time. So what, Kushalam, what should I say now? What should I say about our welfare? Shishu Gruheshu. Krishna has gone. Krishna has left for his abode. The time has swallowed everything. The time is like a dead snake, like a great snake, Ajagarena. It has swallowed because Ajagaras, they just swallow everything. Swallowed everything. So in this he says, now what should I tell about our welfare? You're asking about our welfare. So that is why you should not ask anyone who is not in Krishna consciousness, how are you? Again a lesson for us. They'll say, I am fine. How can he be fine? Because he's not taken up Krishna consciousness. How can he be fine? Then the question arises. The welfare of the person is dependent on Krishna consciousness. You will say, Uddhava is completely Krishna conscious. Why he should say that he is not happy? He's completely Krishna conscious. He's completely absorbed. Now they were fortunate that Krishna is there with them. And we are also fortunate that Krishna is there in the form of name. Kalirkale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Our fortune depends on how much we chant. Then we can say, yes, I'm fine. If I'm not chanting, I have no rights to say I'm fine. So, you can relate it also. Like, Krishna is there, now Krishna is left. Who says there is no welfare for us? What to speak about our welfare? You are in the temple, at the same time you are not chanting. What is the use? Being in the temple, you are not chanting. And can you say, I'm fine again? No. Our welfare depends upon how deep we are absorbed in Krishna consciousness. We may have the touch, but the thing is, we should take it up also. If the person is not chanting, then he has no right to say he is fine. He is always sick. The person chants, then he is always wonderful. Now, this can be related with the story of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was very much sick, too sick. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, oh, you're so sick. He says, I'm not sick. I am not sick, not because of I'm sick not because of my gross sickness, but I am sick because I'm not able to complete my rounds. We can relate that. Vidura is saying our house is set because Krishna has left. So why are you asking about our welfare? The same way here also, you can see Haridas Thakur has been asked, how are you? He says, I'm okay, but I'm not really okay because I'm not able to chant the holy name. I'm not able to complete my rounds. So can you relate something? There's some relation, isn't it? So body anyhow, Sharira Avidya Jal this is. Today it is good, tomorrow it may be whatever it is. But Krishna consciousness always keeps a person alive, always keeps him young and hearty. And that is real strength. That is real energy also. So Aruna read.
Hare Krishna, text 7. Uddhava uvacha Krishna Dyumaninim loche Girneshwajagarenaha Kim nuna kushalam bruyam Gatashrishu griheshwaham. Translation: Sri Uddhava said, "My dear Vidura, the son of the world, Lord Krishna, has set, and our house has now been swallowed by the great snake of time. What can we say to you about our welfare?" Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The disappearance of the Krishna's son may be explained as follows, according to the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. Vidura was struck with great sorrow when he got the hint of the annihilation of the great Yadu dynasty as well as of his own family, the Kuru dynasty. Uddhava could understand the grief of Vidura, and therefore he first of all wanted to sympathize with him by saying that after the sunset, everyone is in darkness. Since the entire world was merged in the darkness of grief, neither Vidura nor Uddhava nor anyone else could be happy. Uddhava was as much aggrieved as Vidura, and there was nothing further to be said about their welfare. The comparison of Krishna to the sun is very appropriate. As soon as the sun sets, darkness automatically appears, but the darkness experienced by the common man does not affect the sun itself, either at the time of sunrise or of sunset. Lord Krishna's appearance and disappearance are exactly like that of the sun. He appears and disappears in innumerable universes, and as long as he is present in a particular universe, there is all transcendental light in that universe. But the universe from which he passes away is put into darkness. His pastimes, however, are everlasting. The Lord is always present in some universe, just as the sun is present in either in the eastern or the western hemisphere. The sun is always present either in India or in America. But when the sun is present in India, the American land is in darkness. And when the sun is present in America, the Indian hemisphere is in darkness. As the sun appears in the morning and gradually rises to the meridian and then again sets in one hemisphere while simultaneously rising in the other. So, Lord Krishna's disappearance in one universe and the beginning of his different pastimes in another take place simultaneously. As soon as one pastime is finished here, it is manifested in another universe, and thus his Nitya Leela or eternal pastimes are going on without ending. As the sunrise takes place once in 24 hours, similarly, the pastimes of Lord Krishna take place in the universe once in a daytime of Brahma, the account of which is given in the Bhagavad Gita as 4300,000,000 solar years. But wherever the Lord is present, all his different pastimes, as described in the revealed scriptures, take place at regular intervals. As the sunset, the snakes become power at the as at sunset the snake becomes powerful, thieves are encouraged, ghosts become active, and lotus becomes disfigured, and the Chakravaki laments. So, with the disappearance of Lord Krishna, the atheists feel enlivened and the devotees become sorry. Hare Krishna.
Hmm. Okay, next. दुर्भगो बत लोकोऽयं यदवो नितरामपि ये संवसन्तो न Please calling me again. This is getting short. One minute. I'll just write message. Why Tandev is calling me? Okay. दुर्भगो बत लोकोऽयं यदवो नितरामपि ये संसन्तो ये संवत ये संवसन्तो न विदुर् ये संवसन्तो न विदुर् हरिं मीना इवो इवोडुपम् Durbaga, unfortunate, but certainly Lokaha, universe. Ayam, this. Yadavaha, the Yadu dynasty. Yadavaha. Nitaram, more specifically, Api also. Ye those. Some pasantaha, living together. No, did not. Vidu, understand. Harim, the personality of Godhead. Meena, the fishes. Iva Udupi. Bade Prabhu, mute your phone. Iva Udupam, Gapam, like the moon. Mute your phone, Bade Prabhu. Hmm. This universe with all its planet is unfortunate. And even unfortunate are the members of the Yadu dynasty because they could not identify Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God. The fish cannot identify the moon. Fish thinks moon is one among them because the reflection of the moon falls on the water. So they think moon is also one among them. The same way when Krishna appears, now you see why that analogy is given, a comparison is given. Fish could not identify the moon. So because the reflection is seen, so the fish considers moon to be one among them. The same way, like in the family, Krishna is seen, so the person cannot identify. Like Srila Prabhupada's appearance in his family could not be identified by his family members. Diya tale andhera, we say. Even if a great acharya is there in the house people consider them as an ordinary person. It is always there. Then one, what is it? Nice.
माता जी जब भी वो नहीं होते फिर उनकी कीमत मालूम पड़ती है, ऐसा है।
वो बाद में सब लोग बोलने के बाद मालूम पड़ता है.
हाँ,
It's a nice saying, na? Contempt, like that something will come, na? Familiarity, familiarity breeds contempt. So much we are familiar, na? So then a person doesn't understand. They become very friend. Now Yadu, they were so friendly. They thought Krishna is their cousin. So like this, they become very friendly. So they could not understand Supreme Personality of Godhead is sleeping with them, eating with them, playing with them, talking with them. Now when they left, at that time they understood. So they said that this universe itself was very unfortunate. But they could not understand. Lord came. It's Lord who came. Lord went as peace messenger. It's Lord who has come. Just imagine Lord being born in any devotee's house. Aha. So nice. So you should understand. And Krishna also doesn't want the devotees to understand. It's Yoga Maya again. After Krishna leaves to his abode, then they realize, oh, Lord came to us. Okay, Vrindavan, can you read?
Yes, Mataji. I'll do it. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Durбhago lokoyam yadavo nitaramapि ye samavasanto na vidur harimina ivodupam. Translation: This universe with all its planets is most unfortunate, and even more unfortunate are the members of the Yadu dynasty, because they could not identify Lord Hari as the personality of Godhead, any more than the fish could identify the moon. Purport: Uddhav lamented for the unfortunate persons of the world who could not recognize Lord Sri Krishna in spite of seeing all his transcendental godly qualities. From the very beginning of his appearance within the prison bars of King Kams up to his Mausal Leela, although he exhibited his potencies as a personality of Godhead in the six opulences of wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, the foolish persons of the world could not understand that he was the Supreme Lord. Foolish persons might have thought him an extraordinary historic figure because they had no intimate touch with the Lord. But more unfortunate were the family members of the Lord, the members of the Yadu dynasty, who were always in company with the Lord but were unable to recognize him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Uddhav lamented his own fortune also, because although he knew Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he could not properly use the opportunity to render devotional service to the Lord. He regretted everyone's misfortune, including his own. The pure devotee of the Lord thinks himself most unfortunate, that is due to excessive love for the Lord and is one of the transcendental perceptions of viraha. The suffering is the suffering of separation. It is learned from the revealed scriptures that the moon was born from the milk ocean. There is a milk ocean in the upper planets, and there Lord Vishnu, who controls the heart of every living being as Paramatma, Super Soul, resides as the Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Those who do not believe in the existence of the ocean of milk, because they have experienced only of the salty water in the ocean, should know that the world is also called the Go, which means the cow. The urine of a cow is salty, and according to Ayurvedic medicine, the cow's urine is very effective in treating patients suffering from liver trouble. Such patients may not have any experience of the cow's milk because the milk is never given to liver patients, but the liver patient may know that the cow has milk also, although he has never tasted it. Similarly, men who have experience only of this tiny planet where the saltwater ocean exists may take information from the revealed scriptures that there is also an ocean of milk, although we have never seen it. From this ocean of milk, the moon was born. But the fish in the milk ocean could not recognize that the moon was not another fish and was different from them. The fish took the moon to be one of them, or maybe something illuminating, but nothing more. The unfortunate persons who do not recognize Lord Krishna like such fish. They take him to be one of them, although a little extraordinary in opulence, strength, etc. The Bhagavad Gita 9.11 confirms such foolish persons to be most unfortunate. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Those who are murkhas, they never understand that murkhas what they think Krishna has taken a human form. Avajananti mamu. Manushim tanumashritam. Tanu, the body of a human. So he is a human. They think that he is a human. Now, ingitagya kuru प्रौढा एकारामश्च सात्वतः सात्वतां वृषभं सर्वे भूतावासम् अमं सता इंगिताज्ञः expert in psychic study ingita puru praudha highly experienced eka one aramah relaxation cha also satvatah devotees or old men satvatam rishabham head of the family sarve all bhuta avasam all pervading. Amam Sata could think. The Yadus were all experienced devotees. Puru Praudha means experienced devotees. Very learned. They were expert in psychic studies also. And above and all, over and above this, they were always with Lord in all kinds of relaxations. Aramaha, who is Satvata, these devotees. Yadus. And still, they were only able to know him as the one supreme who dwells everywhere. They were only able to know him as one supreme who dwells everywhere. So they could not know more about him. Satatam Rishabham, the head of the family, they could only see that much, that he is the head of the family. Sarva Bhuta Avasam, that much they could see, oh, he is pervading everywhere. He goes to Dwarka also, he goes to Hastinapur also. Like this, they could see something, but not so much. Amam Sata, that much only they could think. How is pervading everywhere, how his Shasan is there, how is ruling everywhere. That much they could see this, but they could not understand more about him. So here in the Vedas it is said, Supreme Lord or Paramatma cannot be understood simply by the strength of one's erudition or power of mental speculation. Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhyas Namedayana Bahunashukena Tameva Isha Virutitena Dabhyas Vasaisasma Vintitam Swam. This verse is very important. I am Atma Pravachanena Labhyas. You cannot understand Lord by any amount of pravachan. Na medhaya. One cannot understand Lord by his own intelligence. Na bahuna shutina. You may hear 100 classes. No, still you cannot understand Lord. It's not so easy. You cannot say, oh, I have been there in ISKCON from so many like 20 years, 30 years. I have been preaching, I have been hearing. So what? Tameva isha vrutatena tabhyas tasya sasma virutitarasvam. His verse says, to whomever Krishna has given a special mercy, tameva ishaha, gruntatena labhyas. Labhyas means to that person he is attained. One cannot measure his devotion by his own intelligence, nor by his hearing capacity, nor by his speaking capacity, speaking abilities. Krishna's mercy cannot be understood. So once it so happened, Krishna was hearing some stupid song, folk song. Rupa Goswami told, why are you hearing all these songs? He said, if you are not writing, what I'll do? I'll hear, it's my wish. I am Swarat. You cannot control me. I can hear anything. Some folk song he was here. Then that is how Govinda Vrdavali came. Rupa Goswami wrote Govinda Vrdavali. It is there in our CD. Rupa Goswami Stomala, Govinda Vrdavali. The one who sang Malula Kannan, he told, oh my God, these verses are so hard. His PhD and double PhD Sanskrit. He said, this is not an ordinary writings. Even he could not put in the greatest of the greatest chandas. In chandas meters, there are so many meters are there. He told, it took for him long time to understand how to put it in the meter, how to sing. So we cannot control Krishna's mercy by our speculation. That is what is given here. So Yadu's, Krishna played in the Yadu's house. In all their comforts, Krishna is there. They could not understand the glories of Lord. To some extent, they could understand, okay, Krishna is going to different places. His, uh, his rule is there. But still they could not understand Krishna fully. That is why Prabhupada puts this verse. Nayam Atma Pravachanya. Okay, continue. Aruna, read.
Hare Krishna. Text 9. इंगितज्ञा पुरुप्रौढा एकारामाश्च सात्वताः सात्वतां वृषभं सर्वे भूतावासमं ममं सत. Translation: The Yadus were all experienced devotees, learned and expert in psychic study. Over and above this, they were always with the Lord in all kinds of relaxations, and still they were only able to know Him as the one Supreme who dwells everywhere. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the Vedas, it is said that the Supreme Lord or the Paramatma cannot be understood simply by the strength of one's erudition or power of mental speculation. नायमात्मा प्रवचनेन लभ्यो न मेधया न बहुना श्रुतेन कथा
Pravachane.
नायमात्मा प्रवचनेन प्रवचनेन लभ्यो न मेधया न बहुना श्रुतेन. Katha Upanishad 1.2.23. He can be known only by one who has the mercy of the Lord. The Yadavas were all exceptionally learned and experienced, but in spite of this, their knowing the Lord as the one who lives in everyone's heart, they could not understand that he is the original personality of Godhead. This lack of knowledge was not due to their insufficient erudition, it was due to their misfortune. In Vrindavana, however, the Lord was not even known as the Paramatma because the residents of Vrindavana were pure, unconventional devotees of the Lord and could not think of him only as their object of love. They did not know that he is the personality of Godhead. The Yadus or the residents of Dwaraka, however, could know Lord Krishna as Vasudeva or the Super Soul living everywhere, but not as the Supreme Lord. As scholars of the Vedas, they verified the Vedic hymns Eko Deva Sarva Bhutadhivasaha Antaryami and Vrishninam Paradevata. The Yadus therefore accepted Lord Krishna as the Super Soul incarnated in their family and not more than that. Hare Krishna.
Devasya, this is the last verse now. Devasya Mayaya Sprishta Echanyad Asad असद् आश्रितः भ्राम्यते धीर् न तद् वाक्ये आत्मन्य उपतात्मनो हरौ देवस्य मायया influence of external energy of the Lord sprishtah infected all those cha and others asat illusory ashitah being taken to brahmate bewilder dhi the intelligence no not tad of them vakyahi by those words atmani in the supreme self upta atmanah surrendered souls harau unto the Lord. So under no circumstances can the words of the persons bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls. So, if a person is bewildered, his words have no effect on the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered. Why this is spoken? Why this verse is spoken by Uddhava? Till now, what is being spoken? That they could not recognize him. They could understand some part of it. Now, why this is spoken? Because here it is Krishna's plan. It is Yoga Maya. It is not Mahamaya which is affecting them. Understand? It is devotees who are there with Krishna. It is not the illusory energy which is affecting them. It is Yoga Maya which does not allow them to understand Krishna's opulence. There are two people who don't understand Krishna. One is affected by illusory energy, one is affected by Mahamaya. One is under the influence of Yoga Maya, one under the influence of Mahamaya. So here very clearly it has been given, they are surrendered souls, they are devotees. Yadus are devotees, that is why Krishna chose their family. Like Nityananda Prabhu chose the family of Hadai Pandit and Padmavati. And Lord coming in the family is not so easy, that family is so pious. Yadus are so pious, that is why, and Yadus are the demigods who have appeared. Krishna tells to the demigods, you all go first, make the arrangement. Still they could understand fully, that means they are not under the influence of external energy. It is Krishna's will. If they understand, oh, my Lord has come, then they'll make Krishna sit on the altar and do some pujas and sit. Krishna wants to play with them. Krishna wants to freely behave with them. Krishna wants to tend the cows with them. Krishna wants to sleep with them. Krishna wants to serve them. It's Krishna's wish. So there, one cannot speak that they were affected by illusory energies. No. The intelligence of, like Arjuna, he could not understand Krishna's words, that is Krishna's will. Because Krishna wants to give us the topmost knowledge through him. Illusory energy will never affect a devotee. A devotee means who has surrendered to Krishna. Simple. Okay? Read. Vrindanila Mataji, you read. Bindu can read. Bindu? She is also not well. Bindu,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
read. By reading, you'll become well.
Text 10. Devasya Mayaya Sprishta Ye Chanyat Asad Ashritaha Brahmyate Dhirana Tad Vakyer Atmani Upta Atmanoharo. Translation. Under no circumstances can the words of persons bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls. Purport. Lord Sri Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, according to all the evidences of the Vedas, he is accepted by all acharyas, including Sripad Shankaracharya. But when he was present in the world, different classes of men accepted him differently, and therefore their calculations of the Lord were also different. Generally, persons who had faith in the revealed scriptures accepted the Lord as He is, and all of them merged into great bewilderment when the Lord disappeared from the world. In the first canto, we have already discussed the lamentation of Arjuna and Yudhishthira, to whom the disappearance of the Lord Krishna was almost intolerable by up to the end of their lives. The Yadavas were only partially cognizant of the Lord, but they are also glorious because they had the opportunity to associate with the Lord, who acted as the head of their family, and they also rendered the Lord intimate service. The Yadavas and other devotees of the Lord are different from those who wrongly calculated him to be an ordinary human personality. Such persons are certainly bewildered by the illusionary energy. They are hellish and are envious of the Supreme Lord. The illusory energy acts very powerfully on them because, in spite of their elevated mundane education, such persons are faithless and are unaffected by the mentality of atheism. They are always very eager to establish that Lord Krishna was an ordinary man who was killed by a hunter due to his many impious acts in plotting to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and Jarasandha, the demonic kings of the earth. Such persons have no faith in the statement of the Bhagavad Gita that the Lord is unaffected by the reactions of work. Namam karmani limpanti. According to the atheistic point of view, Lord Krishna's family, the Yadu dynasty, was vanquished due to being cursed by the Brahmanas for the sins committed by Krishna in killing the sons of Dhritarashtra, etc. All these blasphemies do not touch the heart of the devotees of the Lord because they know perfectly well what is what. Their intelligence regarding the Lord is never disturbed. But those who are disturbed by the statements of the Asuras are also condemned. That is what Uddhava meant in this verse. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hmm. Okay, we'll stop here. Any questions?
Mataji, I feel this particular verse is little complicated in its implications and meaning.
Uh-huh.
Like here, how they say, under no circumstances can the words of persons bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls.
Yeah, they are not bewildered. Those are not bewildered, though they could not understand Lord fully. It is not that bewilderment, it is Krishna's will. That is how only we can understand. Why it has been spoken immediately, just after the ninth verse.
Huh.
Ninth verse, they were able to know only some part.
Yes.
So, okay, will the question come like this? Are they bewildered by the illusory energy? No. They are surrendered souls. They should know completely Krishna. Then why they are not knowing Krishna? It is free will of Krishna. It
Yes.
is independence of Krishna. Na medhaya na bahuna shutena na pravachanena labdhyas. Then what is that? Why a person cannot understand? He is completely surrendered. He is hearing for so many years. He is hearing, speaking, he is serving, he is surrendered. Why isn't he not able to know Krishna? Again, it is Krishna's independence. It is not illusory. If Krishna wants, Krishna will reveal. If Krishna doesn't want, Krishna will not reveal. Krishna's direct energy works. Yogamaya works. Not the illusory energy works. Indirect energy is Krishna's illusory energy. Direct energy is Krishna himself. It is Krishna who, it is up to him. Mercy is up to Krishna. Simple. One cannot demand. One has to wait. Is that verse? One has to wait. Very nice verse. Brahmaji speaks.
And here, Mataji, one example of Arjun
Verse.
and other
Yeah.
Arjun and other Pandavas is given, like when Krishna left, how they felt the separation. And we have read also in the earlier canto, like how they all left. They didn't even care, or it didn't even strike them that Draupadi is also there. They just started, and like when Krishna left. And that is one
They're
way
all
of,
observing Lord. They're all observing Lord. They are not
yes,
bothered about each other. They're just
yes,
observing Lord. They were not able to tolerate. Even Draupadi could not tolerate.
true. What I
Draupadi
meant
also couldn't.
to,
Hmm.
what I wanted to ask was, that was one way of reacting wherein they find everything hollow and meaningless when the Lord Himself is not there and they are not able to have any kind of physical association. And then on the other side, we see like how how gopis are in mood of separation when Krishna left for Mathura.
Hmm.
But they are not leaving anything. They are still there and waiting for him.
Because Krishna told me, I aate, I will
And when
come.
he is not coming, they could have just run and gone.
No, they told Krishna told na, I aate. In that hope they are waiting. I'll come. There's a verse now which says, I'll come.
Yes,
When
yes,
if
exactly.
he comes, if he doesn't find us, he will be unhappy. And we don't want to see Krishna unhappy. That is the mood. Now Krishna did not say to Arjuna, I aate karke. Or they would have also waited.
But Mataji, here Pandavas and gopis are the वो higher level.
No,
Gopis,
no, don't compare like that. Devotees are always devotees. Don't
because they are
compare
Nitya
the
Siddha.
devotees. See, everybody is Nitya Siddha. Pandavas are also their
Yes.
Parshadas.
Right,
Never
right.
compare the devotee's mood. One may have attachment with the opulence. Krishna has shown opulence. To gopis, he is not showing the opulence. See, we cannot compare. Pandavas are less graded. No, you should not do that. Because every bottle is full. Will you say Hanuman is less? No. 25 paisa is also full. 25 milliliter is also full. 50 milliliter is also full. It's only in the rasa bhava, the rasa tattva. Gopis in the rasa tattva are the topmost, but that doesn't mean that there is no feeling of separation for Hanuman. Hanuman shows, where is Rama? He's in my chest. Opens the chest and
Yes.
shows. So then what you say that time? That Dasya Bhava is not separate, that's not full, it's also full. Krishna promised, simple. Krishna promised. That is why they are waiting. If Krishna would have not promised, they would have also left their bodies. But they actually, they Krishna in Gopi Gita, they say, you have taken our prana. It's only your dead bodies which is moving. And that too, which is moving, that is, we have kept that little bit just because you are going to come. We are waiting for it. It's not that they are highest, that is why they are waiting. These people are lowest, that is why. Don't talk. Be beaten everywhere then.
Thank
Okay
you,
then.
Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji.
सिंधु च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो
Maybe
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः
Vaishnavi.
श्रवन्ति जय श्री कृष्ण
Then Pranam to all.